next speaker is a business student and a global UN ambassador with ideas big enough to make seasoned execs nervous. Here's Shiza Hirani with Empowering the Next Generation.
I have a burning question to ask. If our future workforce is sitting in classrooms right now, then why are we still teaching them like it's 1950? We have built an education system that rewards memorization over imagination, that punishes difference, that molds students to fit the system instead of molding the system to fit them. And if you think that's just a school problem, then think again, because these are the same students you will be interviewing in the next 5, 10 to 15 years. And I know this not just from data, but from lived experience. As someone who grew up between cultures, between labels, and between expectations, I have been the kid told my creativity didn't fit the rubric. I have been the kid who never saw herself reflected in the textbook. But here's the truth, that creativity, identity, and culture is the rubric for the future. We're standing at a crossroads. One path leads to more buzzwords and terminology with remote promises. The other leads to action, real, inclusive, and disruptive action. So what if instead of trying to fix students, we started fixing the outdated systems that exclude them? And that's what happens when we bring art and science together. So what does it actually look like to merge art and science together in inclusive education? It's simpler than you think. Well, art means giving students a safe space to express who they are through storytelling, creativity, music, and visuals. Whereas science means using data tools and structure to support that expression and track what works best. So in a classroom, this looks like when a student writes a poem instead of a traditional essay, and we assess their comprehension through that. Or when students illustrate math concepts through infographics or use storytelling to explain scientific problems. Learning paths are adapted to different learning styles, visually, verbally, and hands-on, so that no one gets left behind. And you don't have to worry about if it's working. You can measure it with real tools like engagement scores, student satisfaction feedback, improved retention among marginalized learners, and fewer discipline cases. And HR leaders, this is where you come in. Because what if we apply these same principles to hiring? What if instead of forcing every candidate into a time test or a spreadsheet, you let them show you how they think creatively, visually, and narratively? Let people present ideas the way they naturally communicate, through storyboards, through collaborative builds, through visuals, and not just slide decks or bullet points. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can measure it with higher engagement, improved efficiency, fewer culture clash dropouts, better problem solving, and more collaboration across difference. If we want our next generation to thrive in our workplace, then our workplaces need to evolve to deserve them. Because the most brilliant minds of tomorrow, they're already sitting in our classrooms today. Because whether you're 8 or 48, people thrive when they feel seen, heard, and trusted to be themselves. And that's how we merge art and science together. We don't overcomplicate it. So the question isn't how do we prepare young people for work? It's how do we prepare work to deserve them? Because when we empower youth to fully show up, we don't just change classrooms, we change everything. And that's inclusion, not just in theory, but in practice. Thank you.